Okay, here we are. We're gonna get into some shorts on women. This one's gonna be some prime girl math and some prime like deflecting to like oh my god. Okay, but anyways, let's get straight to this. But these ones are bad.
Everyone thinks like OF girls are but like I'm a virgin.
Yeah, virgin. How?
I know. Don't
Like,
you do you collab with guys then?
yeah, of course.
Wait, so then how are you a virgin?
Because it's for work. I'm filming. It's kind of like a tax write-off. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Like I've lost track of that. I don't think it can count.
So you lost track of. That's not how it works, ma'am. That is literally girl math. But this is an example. If you're a mechanic and you're in charge of fixing, like, let's say, exotic cars, and you had to drive them for like 5-10 minutes, you still drove an exotic car. Except for this woman, it's other things. But holy crap, that's some prime girl math right there.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that. So
Yeah.
you're a virgin.
Everyone thinks.
Oh my god, oh my god, they're dumb. Let's see this.
Hi, I'm Evan Lee, and I do only. Hi.
I respect all guys for that. I respect every single one of them. Oh, yeah, that makes sense though. I'm just gonna say it. OnlyFans girls, like, nah, never, not me. We're not doing that iDubbbz shit.
I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring.
You were nice until he married you, and then you showed your true colors.
I don't.
Bro, that little girl roasted her to oblivion. Holy crap. But that is the trick. Here's the thing, guys. If you want to know her true colors, get a prenup. Get all this shit. Make sure your finances are not tied together. And also make sure to get whatchamacallit. Shoot, I forgot the thing. A DNA test, that's it. Also make sure to get a DNA test. Have all these things cooked up, because the thing is, women know the baby is theirs because it's in their stomach. That's one thing. The next thing is, a lot of women get rich off of divorce. And by a lot, I mean a lot. Let me see. It was like, I think it was like 79%. Let me check. Yeah. There we go. Now, I wanted to get millionaires. It was something like that. Here it is. Oh, 70%. Yeah, 70%. Here it is, yeah. Except almost 70% of high net worth women have wealth generated by divorce. So that means 30% of you either got money from your parents or did it the right way, and I respect that. But these 70%, hell no. You know these ones. They're the wives of like some popular guy doing like sports and shit like that. Or maybe they're like just women who keep divorcing men, like, Beyonce and shit. Yeah, I don't respect any of that, because, like, let's be honest, 70%. That says a lot. That says a lot. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Some 67% of high net worth women have said the value of their current net worth was generated as a result of divorce. Let's see. Research by Charles Stanley found despite divorces experiencing a significant drop in their household income, 16% of high net worth women said their divorce contributed significantly to the amount of their net worth, while 27% said it contributed a moderate amount. Some 33% said they were either awarded everything or the majority of assets in their divorce settlements, with 70% getting everything and 16% awarded more assets than their ex-partner. Yeah, there's a little bit of variety, but the whole thing is just they either got a little more stuff or pretty much everything. But yeah, don't do it, guys. Don't fucking do it. Not without a prenup. Protect yourself, protect your assets, protect everything. And if she does not respect that, the law is not in your playfield as a guy. So if she does not respect that, I'm sorry, but dump her ass. Dump her ass. She ain't the one. She may be perfect, but you gotta protect yourself first. Never. Never. Okay, now we go to the next one. Oh, here we go. This one was an absolute destruction.
How are you a Christian, bro? You know perverse speech is actually a sin?
Yeah, they're like, oh, how are you a Christian? Perverse speech. Shut the fuck up.
50 dicks, I'll never lecture you about anything.
Okay, that was nasty. That was absolutely nasty. Every woman that took... Bro, some women felt recoil from that shit. Some women's ancestors rose up from the grave feeling that shit. Bro, but look at them. Look at their face. Bro. Oh my god. Okay, that guy deserves like 100 million. Right, that guy deserves like everything in the world after that statement. These girls, like, they lost all hope. Like they're gone. They're gone. He cooked them. He disintegrated them. He obliterated them. Holy shit. And this one.
I came out as bisexual last year.
Yep.
And since then, I have been dating women. And
Yep.
what I found very fascinating is that the more I date women, the more I find myself understanding heterosexual men.
Yep. Because, also fun fact, lesbians have like a 75% divorce rate. Yeah. And then men and women have, I think it was 53. And then I think gay men had, it was either 30 or 20 something. It was around those numbers.
Let me explain. Exhibit A. I was on a first date with a girl who asked me out, by the way. This is relevant. Because when the check came, she never once made a move to pay. Not even like the fake, let me reach for my purse move. And though I don't mind paying on a date, part of me felt like, you know, the offer would have been nice. I was also a little taken aback that she didn't even say thank you. And I never heard from her again. It really
Yep, men deal with that bullshit every goddamn day. Broke hoes trying to basically get a free meal off of them and then leave. Nah. Well, man, like, this is more prevalent than people think.
really made me feel like she just asked me out so she could have a free dinner. And the moment
she
I
did.
thought that, I was like, oh my god, I sound like all of my guy friends right now.
Yep.
And my argument against why guys should pay for dates has always been like, look, girls take hours to get ready. Our investment is looking really nice for you. Makeup, clothes, that costs money too. But we were
There's a problem with that. Guys get ready by preparing their wallet for a date, by working hard. Therefore, they also take hours throughout their day getting prepared. Looking pretty is not an excuse. Guys, like, they can wear a shirt, they can wear nice stuff, and there we go. Boom. Like, all your, like, that's a bullshit. Especially guys who, like, exercise all the time. They work hours every single day making their body look like that. Just for you to be like, oh, no, pay the date because I put effort. Shut up. Your effort is equivalent of, like, nothing.
both girls in this situation. We both took hours to get ready, so I definitely felt slighted. Exhibit B. On another date, I went back to a girl's house and I ended up making friends with her cat. That's not a pun. I'm talking about her literal, actual animal. And she said, wow, my cat never likes anyone. I better go out and buy a wedding dress.
Yeah, that comment's scary. Say no, never, not after the first date. Never say yes after the first date or like the first few. You have to take years to understand and know someone for who they are. If you do it after a week, after a month, after 1 year, I'm sorry, but like you're setting yourself up for potential failure.
And again, I felt like I got some serious perspective. I have been guilty of making these kinds of jokes on dates with men. I never really thought anything of it. I was just being silly. But then when I was on
You know what they say, when someone's used to preferential treatment, being treated normally seems like a punishment.
the receiving end of it, I suddenly understood the panic. And finally, Exhibit C. One girl invited me back into her house, and her specific words were, do you want to come in and make out? Obviously, I'm like, yeah, you're really pretty. I want to press my face to yours. But then when we got there, we both just sat on the couch and she talked till like 3 a.m. And I was like, yo, girl, I gotta wake up at like...
Oh, yeah, I know that bullshit. But, like, if you want a cheat code to being on a date with girls, just ask them questions about their life, and then the entire date will go through, like, immediately. And then she'll know nothing about you, but you'll know, like, 50 different things about her and all her, like, small little things. It's a literal cheat code into dating. Ask them, let them speak. And then when they said, yeah, and then after that, I go to work here. And you go like, oh, nice. Oh, nice. What do you do at your job? And then she'll spend another 10 minutes rambling. But yeah.
6 a.m. I was told there would be kisses here. There are no kisses. And like, look, I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like, I don't mind talking. I love talking. But she could have said, do you want to come in and just talk? And I would have had totally different expectations for the evening. You know, finally I started falling asleep and I was like, hey, I gotta go. And I gave her one kiss and left. And I felt sad that the amount of kisses promised did not equal the amount of kisses delivered. And once again, I felt like a dude who was upset that I did not receive the expected physical kisses I was promised. And I wanted to talk about this because...
Yep, and remember guys, if you complain about it, it's your fault. You're the problem. You're always the problem. You're never right. It's your fault. And you should always, always, always be at fault no matter what. Yeah. It's always your fault if she says something and you don't, and that doesn't happen. Because you shouldn't be expecting anything out of them. You see that? Like you see how like she expects you to have like maybe a Lamborghini, maybe like really nice clothes, 6 figures, over 6 feet, all that stuff. Then, if you expect her to be able to, at bare minimum, microwave a turkey sandwich, then she says, oh, you're oppressive and you're asking too much of her.
Because I felt like this has really been expanding my perspective when it comes to dating. I finally understand a lot of the complaints my male friends have about dating that I admit I would usually dismiss. But now I really get it when they say,
Dating is just so expensive, man. Sometimes I feel like a girl doesn't...
Welcome to the group. We've been going through this.
I came...
Welcome to the club. You're one of the boys now. You're one of the boys now. That's what you are. Now you know. Now you know why the divorce rate is so high. Okay, now let's go here. Got a few more.
Anyone can be a whore. Anybody can sleep around, and men do it way more than women do.
Yeah, well, it's a pejorative term. Well, let me ask you a question. What's your body count?
My body count?
Yeah.
I'd rather not share that on the internet.
Oh, yeah, you'd rather not share that with you. Yeah, you know why? It's because... I'm just gonna straight up say it. Men get their value off of how many women want them. Women get their value off of how little men they were with. And the reason for this is simply evolutionary. That's it. Men with resources, power, and all that. More women are interested in them. Whereas women who just look nice, are younger, and look great, men will go after them basically.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, there's a reason why you don't want to disclose that.
Yes, because I have free will and I can say what I want. Thank you.
No, sure. The reason why you don't want to disclose it, as well as women in general don't want to disclose that, because women understand that their sexuality defines their value in the dating marketplace. Mm-hmm. So women instinctually know that their body count directly affects, and their past promiscuity directly affects their ability to find a suitor in the future, right? When people use a term like whore, which is a pejorative term, that's attributed to women because you guys care about your body count because that limits your ability to find a man. But for us, the more partners we have, typically the more value we have. Because as a man, for you to be able to get a lot of sex, you have to bring something to the table, right? Men that have a lot of women typically have some kind of money, some status.
Yeah, I'll give you a few hints of why that's true. Leonardo DiCaprio. Easy. How do most guys react to OnlyFans models? There you go.
They're charming. They have something.
Can I speak?
Well, I'm finishing my point to answer your question. So men have to bring something to the table to be promiscuous. Women don't. So that's why it's not respected.
Mm-hmm. I think every woman here would agree that we don't want men bringing their sex experience and sluttiness to the table. We want men bringing their kindness, their godliness, their honesty, their communication skills.
That sounds like a way for you to lose all respect and for her to basically put you in the friend zone.
The reason why nice guys finish last is a phrase. Women say these things, but you're not actually aroused by it. You want the bad boy. You want the guys that are attractive, the guys that can tell you to shut up, make a sandwich, right?
I think you're stuck in 1950 and you need to wake up and realize you're in 2025.
No, that's precisely my.
I just realized she has that like dumb girl voice. You know the one. It's like when she talks, you're like, you know exactly what you're getting into. One word in, and
Point is, we're 2025 and women have changed.
Anyone can be a whore. Anybody.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Now 3 more.
Would you rather, if you had a daughter, would you rather her be in the woods with a man or a bear?
A man.
A man.
Why would you not rather her be in the woods with a bear?
So a bear is a fucking, like, what, nearly 1-ton killing machine, capable of ripping you to shreds easily? Like, easily? Like, hell no. Hell no. What you mean, leave her in the woods with a bear? I remember, this was probably the dumbest discussion to come out the last few months.
Is it because a bear will kill her and eat her for a fact? That's for a fact.
That's not for a fact.
That is for
Not
a
all
fact.
bears kill and eat. And if you avoid the bear, but like, why is the man in the woods?
Simple. Would I rather be in a room with a random dude or a tiger or a bear? The answer is I'm not winning the fight against those fucking monsters. I'm not winning. I'm not winning. Like, who the fuck you think I am? Like, simple. It's that simple. You would rather her be with a man.
Woods. What is the man doing in the woods?
What is my daughter doing in the woods? What is my daughter doing in the woods?
It's just the whole thing is like, if a man is in the woods and you're in the woods, he probably has ill intentions towards you, whereas a bear is just acting off of instinct. You don't know anything about the guy.
I'd rather this 12,000-pound animal with teeth and claws. I'd rather be in there because you can't just trust all men.
I'd rather be in the woods with a bear than a guy.
The problem with that, too, is she is literally in a room with a guy. Even though it's not the woods, she's in a secluded room with a single guy talking to him, and she doesn't feel the least bit unsafe to tell him her opinion about what she thinks.
There's a small percentage of men that do bad things. But women generalize all men doing bad things, most men doing bad things, when it's really a small percentage. If you get 100 guys in a room, one of those guys might be a creep.
Would you rather if you...
Yep. But yeah, when that shit, I remember when that shit came out. I'm gonna say, like, there's so many stupid trends that happen online, and that is one of them. Like, you couldn't pay a woman enough money to get in a locked cage by herself with a polar bear. That's the worst kind of bear. There we go.
Would you bow for a really good guy?
For a billionaire, yeah.
Not a millionaire, though? Like a guy who made $1 million a year?
No.
You wouldn't bow?
$1 million cannot do that much.
$1 million cannot do that much. It can buy a house. It can buy a luxury car. That would generally be it if you spent that much money. But if you just keep it, save it, and like get dividends off it, you're basically earning roughly $30,000 to $60,000 depending on what companies you invest in as money. And if you do a regular job on top of that, you're earning $100,000. Very close if you get $40,000 from working at a job. So therefore, you are a millionaire and you're making bank. You're making bank. You're doing better than like almost every single person. You're already pretty much the top 1% easily as a millionaire. Like, no questions.
I would bow for a billionaires, like probably like a billionaire, but not like a good, not like a just a.
What about
like
a millionaire?
A good guy. Millionaire, I mean, like how much?
1 million a year. He makes $1 million a year.
Okay, to give you guys a perspective on how much 1 million a year is, you could quite literally just rent out a giant ass mansion and like 3 or 4 fancy cars without being in too much financial trouble pretty easily. And that's just like financing stuff. That's not even like, you know, just owning it in general. So that is a shit ton of money. That is a shit ton of money. And then off of that a year, you could easily get 10, 20, 30 million in a few years if invested correctly too.
1 million a year. I know it's not
Probably
very
not.
much. Probably not.
No.
Most people earn like 30,000 a year. So she doesn't know what she's talking about. You live off of 30,000 a year. A guy who lives off of 60,000 a year is already at a level far higher than you. So a guy going off $1 million a year, I'm sorry, but like at that point he doesn't have to work if he decides the next 2 or 3 years just to work and then leave work and never come back.
What's the threshold? 5 mil?
Or like 10?
10 mil a year.
10 mil?
You'll do a vow.
Yeah, I'd be
10
submissive and bow.
But not for 5 mil?
No.
7 mil?
No.
It's got to be 8 figures a year for you.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you? Would you bow for a good man?
I would not. Well, it depends. If they pay me a lot, like per bow, then we can probably
Bro, you're talking about prostitution. That's shit. It's illegal.
charge like 10K per bow, then I would.
You ain't worth that much.
Bruh. Would you
You ain't
bow
even
for
worth
a really
$5.
good guy?
For a billionaire, yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna tell you what I think. Women prop each other up, never like push each other down, and there has become a problem where basically too many women think they're at a level where they're not at, and this is a huge problem in the dating market, which is they always want to date up. So think about like a boyfriend who stays with them maybe 2 or 3 months, who like, let's say he was a millionaire. And then let's say he leaves her and then, you know, maybe he cheats on her, maybe he just breaks up with her and leaves, maybe whatever. But like now her standard is the next guy has to be a millionaire. The problem with that type of thinking is that he chose to stay with you for a little bit of time. He didn't choose to marry you, which means you're not worth marriage to a guy who's a millionaire. You're just worth a small consideration for a maybe like small to medium amount of time of investment for him before he like gets bored. Now let's get to the last one.
Well, someone had to say it.
I think you've been disrespectful.
What have I actually said to you that's actually disrespectful except challenge your views?
Constant interruption, then also the tone. Like there's a tone is absolutely respectful or disrespectful.
Your tone has been super condescending. I just don't comment on it.
I don't think that's true at all.
Yeah, I know you don't think that, but you see these subjective metrics of tone.
Oh, she doesn't even think at all.
Give me something I said. Did I call you a whore?
You can be disrespectful without blatantly calling someone a whore. I'm telling you that I feel that this conversation has been very disrespectful.
I feel that you have been extraordinarily disrespectful. Your tone, from now on, and you talk to me, I need you to use a sing-song voice, because otherwise I feel disrespected. Now, I can't give you any particular words that you've said, any particular phrases, any particular insults, because none of that matters. Inside of my brain, I perceive your non-sing-song voice as being fucking disrespectful.
No, it's midnight. I'm heading out.
Wait, we're almost done.
Well, someone had to.
Yep, he cooked her. But yeah, these were a few for me to get back on track, just to do something, you know, that's not politics for a bit. But yeah, every one of these cases, these are just like delusional women who think they are like a god's blessing to the world and thinks every man should bow down to them and treat them like they're some kind of angel that could never do anything wrong, never held accountable for their actions. Obviously, they don't represent all women. There are loyal women out there. The thing is, they're usually taken. But God bless those women. God bless those women. Every single one of them. They're great. But these girls that come out and do this bullshit make every other woman look terrible. And yeah, that's pretty much it.